Is there anywhere in the world someone can just live for free? There are, but they're not good places for doing it. All the really nice places to just pop down and start living. We put cities there. There are still a few places on Earth that are not owned by any person or country. But they are very inhospitable to life. For example, there is a small strip of land between Egypt and Sudan which neither country claims you could live there for free, or rather, die for free, because it's in the middle of the Sahara Desert and there's nothing but sand. If you go somewhere remote enough, and heavily limit contact with the outside world, you could in practice live for free, because even though a government might lay claim to the land you are on, in practice they would never know you are there. Of course, this is also a heavily dangerous, difficult, and lonely life. In the US you may camp as long as you want on National Forest Service land free of charge, but you must move your camp every 14 days. Edited to add detail. Alaska still allows homesteading. For some reason this post made me think about the prepper guy whose electricity went out and he had tons of canned food but no manual can opener. Marquette KS was giving away free land to build a house. You'd need to get the plans approved. So a completely self-contained grow-your-own-food off-grid setup might not fly. And you'd probably have to pay property taxes. And you'd have to live in Marquette KS. I have a family member who bought land in the SW desert, plopped a kit home down, built a garden, dug a well, and installed solar plus batteries. It's completely off-grid, but he still has to pay property taxes. They spend their days tending and riding horses, canning and jarring food for winter, and shooting coyotes who get too close. He's also really smart, electrical eng background, so he knows how to do all of this stuff. Big learning curve if you don't know how to do it. They still have to go into town for fuel, horse feed, some food items, and healthcare. Not free, but out west you can get enough land to build a house and a garden for less than a new car. Slab City, California. Look it up on YouTube. No part of living in Japan is free, even if you buy an IKEA. Japan loves their taxes. If there's a record of you buying a house, you'll be paying taxes on it. I think you should do some more reading about early American homesteading. I don't think anyone would call it a simple life law. With their parents, homesteading wasn't a simple life. It was a struggle to feed yourself, build shelter, and keep warm. We work less now than at any point in human history. They didn't get paid for working and then go buy food. Their work was directly involved in acquiring food. But it was still work. And it was longer and harder and less efficient. Most of the people who want to live free wouldn't survive it. You think 40 hours a week is tough? Living off-grid. Every single thing you do is work. Not office work. Hard labor. Want heat? You gotta chop wood. Want food? You gotta hunt and process it by hand or grow, forage for food. Water needs to be hauled. If you don't live right on a water source, then it needs to be boiled before consuming it. If you can find a place to do this, more power to ya, but you're gonna work harder than you ever have to make it work. I had a friend who tried homesteading. Basically bought a cheap prefab container home, set up some things like composting toilet, grew vegetables, solar panels. He does still have internet, but aside from that, not much. He did it about 3 to 4 years. The first year was great. He was excited and loved living off the land. Dumpster dove for some stuff and had a super light footprint. He started getting depressed in year 2 because he hadn't realized how many things he missed. Running water, certain processed foods, vitamins because his vegetables weren't nutritionally dense. By year 3 he was miserable and ready to give up. Ended up selling his house, really a shack at this point, and returning. It's not for everyone. Prison. Not that many people would choose this. But you get everything for free. In the United States, inmates are the only group of people who receive healthcare free, by law. The Amazon. You could probably just head into the deepest, darkest Amazon and find yourself a spot to carve out a niche. I mean, the locals might hunt you down and kill you. But you could for 100%. Get far enough into the wild to find a place where you could homestead, where modern property ownership rights are meaningless. Even homesteaders needed the U.S. Army to clear the previous inhabitants from the land. Woofing. Worldwide, working on organic farms. Maybe? You still have to work, but technically there is no money involved. It's all over the world too. Auroville Ashram in Puducherry, India. Within its campus there is no exchange of money. You just contribute your labor like everyone else there. So yes, to answer your question, you sure can live for free there. Depends. When I was looking in a pretty underpopulated area of Spain, one guy said we could live on his farm for free. He wanted someone to live there so it didn't just turn into a ruin.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.